What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. I'm Nicholas from Plugged Into Gaming, and welcome to my first ever episode of Gamer Haul. Now, Gamer Haul is going to be a show where I show off recent pickups. It's basically a recent pickups video, but I'm going to be telling you a little bit different. I'm going to be doing this a little bit differently. I'm going to be telling you what I got for the game, but I'm also going to be telling you a little bit more about the game, more than regular people would. And just to see if you would like it too, because I know I love to be interested and love to be inspired by other people's collections, and I always am looking for something new to put on a waiting list of things that I want to get. So, without further ado, I have about 22 items here that I've received over the past month or so. So yeah, let's get into it. I'll start off, I'll section this off by console. So let's start off with GameCube. First of all, we have Beautiful Joe for the GameCube. I know this still has a sticker on it. That's okay. Beautiful Joe is a beat-em-up fighter game for the GameCube. And I picked it up for $7.99 on eBay. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. And my first impressions are pretty good. I beat the first mission. It's not extremely difficult, but there is a significant amount to learn, but it is pretty good. And it uses a ranking system, so it uses a system of, say, I believe it's like F to V, V being beautiful, so V is the best, and F is failure, so yeah, it's a good game. I have this complete. It has all the manuals, all of that stuff, so it is a pretty good price. I would pick it up for about $12. Or less than that, at least. Alright, so move that up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, the next one is really cool. This is the Mega Man Anniversary Collection for the GameCube, obviously. And this, as you can probably see on the right side there, this is 10 games in one, and you might be saying, 10 games? That's a little bit much. And it is. It's Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then Mega Man Power Battles, which is an arcade game, as well as its sequel, Mega Man Power Battles 2. And I'd never played a Mega Man game prior, so I figured this would be a good opportunity for me to get a Mega Man experience in, and because I don't actually own an NES yet, I figured this would be a good idea. So it is a good idea. The controls work well, and yeah, it's a good package overall. It definitely brings all of the games and their nostalgia goodness. There's all that stuff. It's good. I picked this up for about $19, so close to $20 complete. And it would be good to note that the GameCube version is the most rare version of this game. The PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox version of this game are not really that rare because it's sold better on those consoles. So if you can find them on the GameCube for $20, it's a good price because it's rarer on the GameCube. Switching gears a little bit, let's go over to Wii U, because I only have one game for the Wii U right now to show you guys. I am a Wii and Wii U collector, so I have a significant amount of Wii U games, and there was one big title that I hadn't had yet. I didn't get this at its first release day. I got it recently, but I'm super happy to have it now. This is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Released in February 2014, I believe it was the 21st, I think. This game is incredible. I'm already up to the 4th world. I've 100% completed the first 3 worlds of this game. I'm absolutely loving this game. I have played the Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii, and I didn't think it was as good now that I've played this because it's just too difficult. The controls were a little bit stupid, and there were many times where I thought that the deaths I took were cheap, and it was because of the game's fault, not mine. With this game, it's a lot different. The controls are, in my opinion, much better. And yeah, I love this game. I picked this up pretty close to launch price. I picked this up for $47 on eBay. And I'm happy to pay for it. I believe that it's worth this, and there's definitely a lot of content. The levels are great. So yeah, this is a great addition to a Wii U collection right now. That Super Mario 3D World, Rayman Legends, Lego City Undercover. So a lot of platformers and open world games are the Wii U's strong point right now. So I have a lot of Wii stuff that I recently picked up, so let's take a look at some of that stuff. First of all, one game that many people I have talked to said, you don't have this game? How have you not had this game since you've had the Wii? And I got the Wii pretty close to launch as I was a little bit younger, and even still, I never picked it up. This is Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I can see the comments now. That should stay. Let's move this up. Super Smash Bros. Brawl is obviously one of the most popular games on the Wii. It is a fighting game, and I can see this slipping, so I'm going to move this. Okay. Super Smash Bros. Brawl is a fighting game for the Wii. It is one of the most popular games, and for a reason. It's a great game. It has a ton of characters. It's the sequel to Super Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube, which I have played, and I own, kind of. And, yeah, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. A good friend of mine gave this to me, and I'm super happy I have it now in my collection. It's complete. I don't know how much he paid for it, but, yeah. Okay, so now, on to another essential for the Wii that many people seem to have. This is Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I have 100% completed the GameCube version of this game. A good friend of mine loaned me the GameCube version, and I 100% completed it because I was so addicted to that game. So another good friend of mine, there are 3 friends in the last 2 minutes that I've announced. Another good friend of mine has sold a lot of his old games and stuff. So one of the games he was selling was Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii. So I picked this up for $12, which is an incredible price. And it's complete. It has everything in it. I love those discs. Well, I'd like it to be more colorful. I love the disc, though. So, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Now, I can't really give a first impression because I've already, as I said, I've beat the game. But, this is one of my favorite Zelda games, actually. It has some of the best dungeons in the whole series. Some of the best boss fights. While the wolf mechanic isn't great, it's not the best thing ever, it still is a good mechanic and it's utilized not excessively, but not too little. I'm interested to see how the Wii controls with that game. I've played the first 10 minutes of it. I really haven't gotten a big chance to. With everything else that I've gotten, this is the one game that kind of got put to the side because I've beaten it already, so when I get more time, I will try to test it out, especially with the new controls. I'm excited to play the game again. I loved it from start to finish. One game that people say is a really great game that I never got a chance to pick up before now is Mario Strikers Charged. This is a Mario sports game, but this Mario sports game is pretty freaking intense. As you can see, it's soccer or football if you're in another country, and Mario and friends are decked in like robot-ish armor, and it's intense football. That's basically what it is, with power-ups and all that stuff. It's Mario football, or soccer. It's actually, I think this is called Mario Strikers Charged Football in other countries. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And, yeah, there's not really much to say. I haven't really played too much of it. There's a great tutorial so far. I've gotten through the tutorial section. The tutorial does an absolutely amazing job of explaining this game. And you might be saying, well, how good is it? I mean, it's just a sports game. It can't be too hard. But there are certain mechanics in here that you wouldn't think to use. And this game tries to let you know of all of these mechanics. And they really do a good job of showing you. And it's a good game so far. I've played 1 or 2 matches, especially online. Those are cool, too. So, yeah. Also, the motion controls aren't used completely, which I tend to like, especially in these intense games. The motion controls I don't feel are correctly used in many of these more intense games. Speaking of intense games, I have two of them here. Actually, I have the next three are going to be pretty intense. This is the Conduit Special Edition. Oh, by the way, I picked up Mario Strikers Charge for $13 about. That's round about where I picked up most of these Wii games, because that's a good price for them. Similar with this one, I picked this up for $13. This is the Conduit Special Edition, and you might be saying, well, what's so special about the Conduit Special Edition? Well, other than having a completely different cover, the original cover is this. If you find this in a GameStop, this will be, or any other game site, this is the normal cover for the game. This is what the game would normally look like. But the Special Edition looks like this. And there's not too much different. Other than it looks, I think in my opinion, it looks better here, because it just looks a little bit more simple, but it's good. But the thing that really majorly makes it more of a Special Edition is this Special Edition art book. And it comes with this complete art book. It has about 24 pages, I believe. I don't know, it doesn't have page numbers, but it has a significantly cool thing with all of the different assets and enemies and people you'll see. It is pretty cool. And while the game isn't the best, isn't the most good-looking game on the system, it is pretty cool to have that. And it's great for a collector. If you can find the Conduit Special Edition somewhere, it's highly recommended. I've played a significant piece of this game so far, and I'm liking it so far. I'm not a huge first-person shooter person, so the fact that this game is really roping me in is very good. Kind of moving on to another shooter, is Metroid Prime Trilogy. Now, I don't have the Steelbook version and the art book. I'm working on getting that. However, the Metroid Prime Trilogy is one of what people have already dubbed one of the best games on the Wii. And you might hear me say already, and you might be asking, well, why is it already? Because it only came out a year or two ago, and this is all three of the Metroid Prime games, except for the DS one, which no one really knows about or cares. Metroid Prime Trilogy, it's just so good. It has the updated Wii controls, so it makes the controls more accurate, so it shows you where you're shooting better. I tend to like the GameCube controls for the first game. The third game works really well. I haven't played too much of the second or third game because I'm going through the first game again with this. I have the GameCube version of Metroid Prime, and I got up to the last section and I never finished it because then I got this. So I'm running through Metroid Prime again on here, and I'll go through all three games eventually. But it is a good game. I picked this up for about $40, so I think it's definitely worth it. If you could find it complete with the Steelbook cover and the art book for $40, that's absolutely incredible, but most likely it's a lot more expensive, which is unfortunate due to how good this game is. Next is the last of what I considered, I guess, the hardcore games. This is Pandora's Tower. If you know anything about Pandora's Tower, it's probably one of three, and you might be saying, well, if you don't know what that is, what do you mean? Operation Rainfall, which is a fan project to get 3 Japanese games translated and ported over to the West, which is North America, and I believe South America too got them. And that included Xenoblade Chronicles, The Last Story, and Pandora's Tower. Pandora's Tower was the last of the 3 games to be ported over, and I'm super happy it did because it's really a great game. I picked this up for about $20, which I think is completely worth it. It is very similar to Zelda. It has 13 dungeons, but only dungeons. It doesn't have an overworld or anything, just a little hub area. It doesn't have an overworld, but it does have some pretty stellar dungeons. And while you don't get items either, you have this one chain thing and this chain is your main weapon throughout the whole dungeon, and it takes more RPG elements than it does like a collecting and trying to complete side quests. It's mostly just an RPG with dungeons in them, and it's really good. It's a really great formula, and it turns into a dating simulator in some ways, because the point of the game is to get flesh of beasts to cure your girlfriend's curse, who is Elena, and she is cursed, and you have to get flesh to save her. So you can talk to her and grow your relationship, and apparently there are different endings. And as I said, I got this recently, so I haven't beat the game yet. I've gotten up to the 3rd dungeon, I believe, but I'm super happy to have gotten this. You can play with the classic controller, and I see many people playing this game online with the classic controller. So if you have a classic controller, this seems like a good game to use it. Only 2 more Wii games, and then we move on to my handheld stuff. Here's what many people would consider an underrated Wii gem, and I definitely agree. This is Lost in Shadow. Lost in Shadow is a platformer that's also a puzzle game, so a puzzle platformer. But what's different about Lost in Shadow is that you don't just regularly platform. You have to manipulate objects in the foreground to make shadows on the walls or on the floors or whatever, and you are a shadow, so you're gonna jump through the shadows in the background. It's just this game is just well made. It's just really good. It's made by Hudson Soft, the people who have made other decent Nintendo games, I guess. I know that they've made Mario Party games. I think they went out of business. I'm not exactly sure. I think they went bankrupt. But you can see here there are some pretty cool shadow elements here. The combat isn't great, but it's not an A++ like extreme blockbuster title. But I'm super happy I got it. It's not the longest game either, so that's not the it don't look for longevity in this, but look for an experience, and it really is cool. I picked this up for about $12. As I said, with most of these Wii games, I picked them up for $12. So yeah, it's good, and it's beautiful too. I love the game's art direction, not just the shadowing and all that stuff, but the backgrounds are actually really pretty. Last Wii game here, and it's probably one of my biggest just because of what I'm attempting to do. I'm going to show you the original box here. This is the Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition, and as I explained in my unboxing, there's really nothing special about the Special Edition. It's just Kirby's Dream Collection. And here's the regular game. I'm going to put that one up there. Kirby's Dream Collection is a collection of 6 Kirby games, and that is Kirby's Dream Land, the original Kirby's Dream Land, Kirby's Dream Land 2, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Kirby's Adventure, Kirby Superstar, and Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. And as well as that, they include some new challenge stages from Return to Dreamland, Kirby's Return to Dreamland, and as well as a interactive timeline. And I've played a good portion of this game so far, and I actually really love it. I'm not the hugest Kirby fan, so that's why I picked this up. I figured I'd probably become more of a Kirby fan if I play this, and I have. I've only ever played prior the 2 Wii Kirbys, Kirby's Epic Yarn and Kirby's Return to Dreamland, as well as Kirby Mass Attack for the DS, I think. I really like the art direction on the front here. And by the way, this game is amazing in the sense that I picked this up brand new in the box. As you see, I have the box, but this is a completely new version of the game. I'm the first person to own this copy of the game. I picked this all up, including the collectible art book, which I had in my unboxing of this, which will probably go up on my channel soon. That I got this all for $25 on eBay. Props to the guy who sold this to me at best offer on eBay. That was really awesome. It was a great deal. So, Kirby's Dream Collection, definitely worth a purchase. Even if you're not the biggest Kirby fan, I can tell you anybody can get roped into this game. If it's the new challenge stage stuff, or the modern stuff, or the old games, if you're really into old games with the new Wii, it really just uses the Wii remote. You don't need anything extra. Well, you can use the classic controller, I believe. and the GameCube. You can even use the GameCube controller for that. You can use anything, but it's really, really well done. Good job on Nintendo's part for that one. Oh, and it also, you might have seen, it has two discs. It has the game, and then it has the soundtrack, so it has 45 Kirby soundtrack songs. I haven't downloaded that yet onto my iPod or any of that, but I'm looking forward to doing that, because there's a lot of good music in Kirby games. So now we're on to the handheld stuff. That's all of the console stuff. And I'll recap at the end what you saw, just in case you want to make sure you want to go back and you're like, oh, that sounds really cool. So you can already probably hear some cartridges rattling around. So first of all, one of the biggest things for me out of this whole pickups was my friend who sold me the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. He sold me a lot of other things, then mostly handheld stuff, and that included a Game Boy Advance SP. Now, don't hate on me. I have played Game Boy Advance games. I have a lot of Game Boy Advance games. This was my first handheld console. Not this specific one, but the Game Boy Advance SP was my first handheld console. I believe it was my first console ever, maybe. I'm not sure about that. I was really young. It was either the Nintendo 64 or this, but I got them pretty close to each other, so I always consider this is my first handheld. Nintendo 64 was my first console. But anyway, so the one I had when I was younger, I had a dark blue one, I believe, and it broke. The screen had, like, the inside fracture, the LED lights in it fractured, and it was unfortunate. And I never got another Game Boy Advance. I got a DS Lite, which played Game Boy Advance games, and I still have that. It still works. So I've been playing my Game Boy Advance games on a DS Lite for about 9 years. And I'm super happy to have this now. I picked this up for $12 or something like that. No, wait, 17 maybe, 17, somewhere around there. But I'm super happy to have it. The controls always feel nice on these consoles. I'll probably review this at some other time. And you might be wondering what's in here. This is Zelda the Minish Cap. I didn't pick this up recently. I've had this for a while now. But by the way, Minish Cap, one of the best Zelda games ever. Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap. That's kind of promotion for that game, but I really love Minish Cap. That's why I figured it would do it justice if I got a Game Boy Advance. So I guess I'll put that somewhere here. I got 3 loose cartridges recently. This one I got for free. My friend gave it to me. Hot Wheels All Out. It's terrible. Never get this game. I also got Super Mario Advance for $2. This isn't terrible. This is just a port, an enhanced port of Super Mario Bros. 2 for the NES, or Doki Doki Panic, whatever you decide to call it. It is a good game. I'm not a huge fan of Mario 2. I don't know. I'm not nostalgic for it at all, so that doesn't help. Ugh, that doesn't help. But no, it's a good game overall, and I have Mario 2, so it's not really much different. It is a loose cartridge too. And the last loose cartridge I have is Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX. This is the Game Boy Color version of Link's Awakening. And now that I have a Game Boy Advance, I can actually, SP at least, I can play it. And it's good. I love Link's Awakening. I picked that up recently, and that's why I got my Game Boy Advance, and then I got my Link's Awakening. And I love the game. That's one of the few games I haven't played in the Zelda series yet, and I'm loving it so far. So, yeah, there's really not much more to say about that. I picked up Link's Awakening DX for $20 online. Pretty good price, too. Unfortunately, I don't have the box for that, but I'll get that in time. Only a couple more things here, and some of these I'll just run through. DS and 3DS. So, DS, I have Nicktoons Battle for Volcano Island, but I picked this up for $3 complete. It has everything, including the cartridge. It's not great, so that can go aside. I also picked up Star Fox Command. If you're a Star Fox fan and you didn't know this exists, I don't blame you. So, Star Fox Command is not a good game. Don't get it. I picked it up for $5. It's not worth anything more than that. The final one I got is a lot better. This is Animal Crossing Wild World. I did not pick it up for $30. I picked it up for $18 or something like that. And I haven't really played it too much. It's not really on top of my agenda right now. There are a lot of other games I'm playing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it. This is also very complete. I have this in my DS case. So, yeah. Animal Crossing Wild World. Finally, I have 3 3DS games here. All three of which are pretty top-notch 3DS titles that I didn't pick up earlier this year when I got my 3DS. My first 3DS game is New Super Mario Bros. 2. New Super Mario Bros. 2 is obviously a 3DS game, as I've said previously. But it doesn't really utilize the 3D too well, at least of what I saw. I don't think it is going to the rest of the game. I've beat 1 or 2 of the worlds. But this game is mostly about collecting coins. There's no difficulty here. There's really not hard. Definitely not as hard as Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. But New Super Mario Bros. 2 is a pretty good game. I am enjoying it thoroughly, and I'm glad I got it. I picked this up new, sealed, for $25. Very similar. Actually, it's the exact same price I paid for Kirby. But I do agree that you probably can get it for less. But that's okay. I really was looking forward to getting the game. Yeah, I like it overall. It's a good game. Another really good game is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. Recently picked this up, and I have played the original. Don't hate on me. I've never played Ocarina of Time. I have played Ocarina of Time. I have Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64. Oh my god. But I figured I'd get the 3DS remake because I've never actually beat the Nintendo 64 version. Just I guess lack of wanting to beat it. I don't know. There was something always about it that didn't really appeal to me. I don't know. Not that it was ugly, because I never thought it was. I guess it was just that there was a lack of direction. But Ocarina of Time 3D is really good, and I'm really looking forward to completing more of this game, more dungeons and all that stuff. And finally, there's one more game, but before I do this, I just thought of something. Just because I get all these games, this is over the past month and a half, I got these games, I'd say. That doesn't mean I don't play them. I'm significant pieces already through each one of these, and I play a lot of games at random. Like, I'll be playing about 10 games at the same time, just so that way I can fit in so many games, and that way I can play so many at the same time. So Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is my main one right now. I'm really trying to beat that one. But afterward, I'll try to find one other main game, and other ones I'll play on the side. But that's usually what I do. I usually play like one main handheld, one main console. So if you're a collector and you want to be a collector, and you'd say, "Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to play all these games." You do. You are easily able to. And one of these days, I'll show off my full collection, show you what I'll play, what I've played, what I've 100%ed, all that stuff. So my final 3DS game and my final game of this whole collection is Fire Emblem Awakening, and I got this for $30. And I'm super happy about this because this is one of my favorite games now for the 3DS. One of my favorite RPGs now too. It's such a pretty game. I love Fire Emblem's graphic style on the 3DS. It just looks incredible. There's just so many good things that they did with this game. And I've never played a previous Fire Emblem game, so this is just completely out of just respect for Fire Emblem now. And I'm gonna try to play Radiant Dawn on the Wii, but it is an expensive game. It's about $80. I know at GameStop's now. On eBay, it's probably even more. So it's ridiculous price, but I guess that's what you have to play some of the best games. So, Fire Emblem Awakening. Alright. So, I'm going to go quickly over everything that you saw here, so just in case you want to get any of this stuff, God help if you want to get Star Fox Command. But, or Hot Wheels, what is that called? Hot Wheels All Out, don't get those. But if you want to get something else, anything else I've showed you, let's recap of what I got over the course of time. Animal Crossing Wild World, Star Fox Command, Nicktoons Battle for Volcano Island. By the way, it's a platformer, it's not good. Fire Emblem Awakening, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. Oh god. New Super Mario Bros. 2. Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition, Lost in Shadow, Pandora's Tower, Metroid Prime Trilogy, the Conduit Special Edition, Mario Strikers Charged, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Wii U, Mega Man Anniversary Collection, Beautiful Joe, the Game Boy Color Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, Super Mario Advance and Hot Wheels All Out, and finally, a Game Boy Advance SP. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been my first Gamer Haul video. Tell me what you think of it. I do know that there's another guy on YouTube who does Gamer Haul, but I thought of the name myself. There just happened to be someone else who thought of that name too. Just letting you know, because I know there will be people like, oh, you stole the name. I didn't steal the name. I thought of it, but just so happened someone else had it. Thanks for watching, guys, though. Please leave a like and a comment. Tell me what you want me to do next. If there's another game, one of these games you want me to play, do a Let's Play of, I'd be totally fine with doing that. Actually, I'd be super happy to. Also, please subscribe if you like my content. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out, especially all these pickup videos. If you love pickups and unboxings, I do a lot of those on my channel. And I'm introducing some new shows soon, so that should be really, really cool. Anyway, I'm Nick from Plugged Into Gaming, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.